Chapter 33. I turned to the ledge and saw Conrad standing there. His gray hair blew wildly in the wind. The white wolf stood at his side. "You made the snowman march?" I cried. "You are a sorcerer too?" Conrad nodded. He gazed at the monster trapped in the ice, and a smile spread over his face. "Yes, I sent them to rescue you," he said. And Greta narrowed his eyes at Conrad. As she studied his face, her mouth dropped open. "You!" And Greta cried, "It's you!" Conrad's smile grew even wider. "Yes," he told my aunt. "Who? Who is he?" I demanded. And Greta turned to me and put his hand on my shoulder. "Jacqueline," she said softly, "I moved back here because I thought he might still be here. And yes, I was right. He is here." She squeezed my shoulder and smiled at me, tears welling in her eyes. "Conrad is your father," and Greta whispered. Conrad and I both cried out at the same time. He rushed across the icy ledge and wrapped me in a hug. His long beard scratched my face as he pressed his cheek against mine. "I don't believe it!" he cried, stepping back with tears in his eyes. "It's been so many years. I didn't recognize you, Jacqueline. I'm so glad that Greta brought you back to the village." You're really my father?" I stammered. Conrad didn't have a chance to answer. Rolanda and Eli came running up to us. "Are you okay?" they cried. Conrad pointed to Rolanda and Eli. "They saved your lives," he told Aunt Greta and me. "They told me that you planned to climb to the ice cave. As soon as I heard that, I worked my magic. I sent the snowman up to rescue you." "Wow!" Eli exclaimed, seeing the monster frozen in the ice. "Look at that!" "That was the evil snowman," Conrad explained to them. "He'll never threaten the village again." Rolanda and Eli stepped closer to view the frozen monster close up. I turned to my father. "I don't understand," I said. "Why did you stay behind in the village when Mom and Aunt Greta left? Why do you live up here near the ice cave?" He scratched his beard and sighed. "It's kind of a long story. When you were little, your mother and I were practicing powerful magic. Our magic got out of control. We accidentally created this monster." He motioned to the monster and shook his head. "We froze the monster inside the body of a snowman," he explained. "Your mother, she wanted to leave. She was so frightened and upset. She wanted to move as far away from the village as she could. She wanted to forget it ever happened." "And why did you stay?" I demanded. "I stayed because I thought I owed it to the people of the village," he explained. "I owed it to them to keep the snowman in his cave, to keep it from harming people." He uttered another sad sigh. "And so I stayed up here, close to the monster we created. But leaving you, Jacqueline, was the hardest thing I ever had to do." He wrapped his arm around my shoulders. Again his beard scratched my face. "I always dreamed that someday I could leave the mountain and go find you," he said softly. "And now the monster is dead. The horror is finally over. And Greta has brought you back. Perhaps—" His voice broke. He smiled at Aunt Greta and then at me. He took a breath and tried again. "Perhaps we can try to be a family again." He kept his arm around me as we turned to go down the mountain. "Hey!" I cried out as I saw the snowman move to block our path. In all the excitement of finding my father, I completely forgotten about all the snowmen. Now they circled us, surrounded us, staring at us with their glowing cold eyes, staring at us so coldly. "What are they going to do?" I stammered. Before my father could answer, one of the snowmen came thumping out of the group. He rumbled up to us, arms twitching, eyes flashing. I grabbed Dad's arm. The snowman had us totally surrounded. Nowhere to move, no chance to run away. The snowman stopped inches from my father and opened his mouth to speak. "Can we go back down now?" the snowman asked. "It's really cold up here."